SCTV concludes its programming day with Sermonette. Tonight's speaker is Father Raoul Wilson.
Good morning. Don't let the caller fool you. I'm not really a priest, but I am a father. Yeah, I got a handful of kids scattered across a few continents that I know of. Speaking of which, I should send them a note, I suppose, and some checks, of course. Now, this morning, I'd like to discuss a subject which I've given a lot of thought to over the years, that old perennial problem, sex and the church. It's a subject that I've written many articles and periodicals about in publications which I'd rather not name at this time. First, let's ask ourselves the most basic question concerning sex and the church, and that is, should sex be performed in a church? And the answer, I believe, definitely not. You'd probably get kicked out. Secondly, is it spiritually and morally wrong to kind of sift through a porn mag? You know, those girly magazines that so many of us love to kind of browse through in the backroom privacy of some bookstores. Well, let me answer that by taking the scholarly or academic approach, and that is, what's wrong with black mesh and garter belts? Depending on who's wearing such articles and what he or she is doing to whoever they're doing it to, it can be a sensuously uplifting experience. And what's wrong with giving your senses a lift? Why, I like to give my senses a lift whenever I can. Personally, I enjoy it. And you don't just have to look at the pictures. By all means, why, there's a lot of good reading in those magazines, a lot of good stories about young girls moving into new apartment buildings and things like that. Why, I don't care, people, I don't care what religion they are, why, they can't tell you reading's bad for you. I just like girls. I like looking at them. I don't care how old they are or whatever. They can be 60 or 14. Not in this country, of course, why there are laws to that effect concerning minors, which I strictly adhere to, of course. I don't care how cute they are. If I see a young filly walking on the other side of the street, I won't even go over. Keep my distance. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Of course, in Europe, it's a different story. The laws are slightly different, and those young girls are slightly more mature for their age. You know, I'm not speaking from personal experience, of course, but just what I've heard from complete strangers.